general. I hope chat box is working for everyone, right? Is it enabled? Are you able to type something? Because okay, I got one from Mrs. Oh, sorry, Miss Talat. She lives in Riyadh. She takes Islamic classes. That's nice. Vivek, Hindi teacher from Meerut. Okay, you're new to online classes. That's great. So this is something that you can benefit from. We've also shared the previous week's recordings in the WhatsApp group. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out, ma'am. Or if you've got this from LinkedIn, please let me know. I will share the WhatsApp group link. You can join in later towards the end of the workshop. So yes, so let's begin and welcome to this week's workshop. This week we're having only one workshop, which is regarding Google Chrome. So when I was taking, okay, we have Namrata ma'am from Mumbai. Very nice. Yes, you're in LinkedIn. Okay, Vivek sir, if you want to join the WhatsApp group, I'll be sharing the WhatsApp group link in the end. Okay, we also have Deepali ma'am here. So yes, let me give a quick recap of what happened last week. We just began last week. Last week we had three workshops. One was regarding forms. Then we had about sites, and we had about Jamboard. And this week we are covering Google Chrome. So in Google Chrome, we'll be seeing what is Google Chrome, how to use it, and what are the different features that can be used by teachers, especially because most of you are teachers here, right? Can you give me a yes? If you are from education space, you could be a teacher, academic coordinator, school leader, principal, anything. Yes. Okay. A big yes. Great. So we all are from education space, and this is very much new. Even though it's been almost 2 years that we have started, 2 or 1.5 years that we have started using online space or internet, or yes, virtual classes as our mode of communication with the students. Even though it's 1.5 years, it's still new to us. There's a lot more to explore. So one such thing or one thing that we use on a day to day basis, almost an hour to hour basis, is Google Chrome, or basically a browser. You might not be a user of Google Chrome, it's all right, but yes, we use a browser to use the internet. So that's what I'm going to cover today, which is Google Chrome. We'll be seeing a few things, so let me run through the agenda as well. So Chrome Basics and Omnibox. In the form also, you must have seen the word Omnibox. It might sound new to you, but I'll be letting you know what is Omnibox. We'll be seeing how to bookmark web pages, how to use extensions. And once you start using Google Chrome, you might want to also manage settings. So that's also something that we're going to cover. Okay. So great. We have a lot of people here from different parts. So somebody from Mumbai, Pune, Riyadh, Meerut. I am here in Andhra, so that's great. We are all sitting in different places. Okay. So next question from my end. Now, when I'm saying Google Chrome, how many of you have used Google Chrome, or how many of you use Google Chrome? You can type in the chat box, yes or no. I'm going to keep asking questions, so please make sure you have your keyboard handy. Yes. Shamim ma'am says no, she doesn't use Google Chrome. All right. Talat ma'am says yes. Deepali ma'am is using. Namrata ma'am says she uses it every day. Shania Ahmadi ma'am also says she uses it. So yes. Okay. Shami ma'am said no. Shami ma'am, can you type which browser you use? Is it Mozilla Firefox? Is it Opera? Or if you're using an Apple? Okay, okay, you directly use Zoom, so there's no need of using browser much. Okay, but otherwise, if you have to access any web page, which browser do you use? So, browsers are basically softwares that or applications that help you browse the internet, that help you open a website. So if you have to open Facebook, or if you have to open LinkedIn or YouTube on your laptop, so you will have to open one of these things, either Microsoft Edge, Microsoft Google Chrome. Yes, great. So most of us here use Google Chrome. So this is one thing which if if we learn, it's going to be very helpful. So that's what we're going to cover today: Chrome basics and a few features that can come handy. All right. So before I go to the next segment or the next section, I want to see if you have any doubts with respect to the topic. Why did I choose the topic, or what else do you have, or if you have anything with respect to Google Chrome, you can ask in the chat box. If not, you can quickly raise your hand and we'll go to the next section. Let's see, you can raise your hand if you any questions, or you can type no in the chat box. If you don't have any questions, you can type no in the chat box and we'll go to the next section, that is the practical part of it. No questions. Okay, great. Okay, just a moment. Somebody has just pinged me for the meeting link. They have just registered now, so I will have to share it quickly. Just a moment. All right. So let's check how to use Google Chrome. So the next part is the basics of Google Chrome. Now, what is it? How do I install it? What's so special about it? And how is it different from other other browsers? So that's what we're going to check in the first part. That is introduction to Google Chrome. Even if you don't know much about Google Chrome or you're new to Google Chrome, we'll see how to do that. Okay. So I will stop sharing my screen, that is my Google Slides, and I'll be showing you my Google Chrome and my system so that you can understand what to do practically. So theory part we can speak, for hours, but unless you know how to do it, how to practically implement it, it's not, the knowledge is not going to be useful, right? How many of you agree? You can give me a raise hand option. You can just click on the raise hand option if you agree that even if you have a lot of knowledge, unless you implement it, you will not be able to apply it in your classrooms, right? So that's why I try to keep my workshops. That means I will be showing you things that can be done instead of speaking about it. So I'll stop sharing this. All right. And I'll share my entire screen so that you can see what I am doing step by step. Now, first thing was, how do I install Google Chrome? So since my default browser is already Google Chrome, whenever I want to open something, I can just go to my desktop and I will have this Google Chrome button. I can click on it and it will open a new tab like this. Okay, a new tab like this. This is called as a Chrome tab. I will be able to see it and use it. If you don't have Google Chrome, let's say you have bought your laptop or it's a new laptop and you don't have Google Chrome in it. Probably you have Microsoft Edge or Explorer. What you have to do is you will have to open the other browser. Whatever browser you have on your system, you will open it. It will either be on the desktop or from the start button you can find whatever Explorer is there or Edge is there. You will click on it and here you will type Google Chrome and it will help you install it. Okay, when you search for Google Chrome, it could be anything. Okay, it could be Opera, it could be Safari, anything. You can just search for Google Chrome. It will give you the results. You will just have to install it. Okay, it will take some time because it's other browser. Usually Chrome is very fast compared to other browsers. So if you open other browsers, it might take some time to load because you might not have been using it. So that's how you install it. You just have to Google it or Bing search it and install it. You will get the results here. You will have to install it. That's how you install it. Once you start installing it, it will appear here on the home page. Okay, or on the taskbar, it will appear. If it doesn't, you can see here Firefox. If you can look at my desktop, or let me increase the screen size. Medium icons. Okay, if you can see here, I have Google Chrome, I have Firefox. So these are all browsers. So as soon as you install Google Chrome, it will come up on the desktop and you just have to double click it to open. Okay, that's all. As simple as that. So you can see Google Chrome. Download Chrome today. You just have to click on download now and it will get downloaded. Like any other software that you download, just you have to type next, 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 and it will get downloaded. And from desktop, you access it. That's how you install it. Okay, this is for newbies or people who are very new to Google Chrome. That's how you install it. Now to use it, you will find a shortcut on your desktop. If you don't find it on desktop, you can just click on start, search for Google Chrome and you'll find it here. You can click on it. Any which ways, it's going to open a fresh tab. Now, I hope this part is clear with everyone. You can type yes in the chat box if it's clear. How to install Google Chrome and how to use it. Now, this information is not only useful for you, but also for your kids, that is your students or your children who are using laptop or computer. You can tell it to them. Or your colleagues, if they are new to it, you can also share it with them. So yes, as soon as I install Google Chrome, it will be on the desktop. I'll double click it and a fresh tab opens. It might not look like this with flowers and all. I have customized it, but otherwise it will look like this. Similarly, you will have search here. You will have a white space here where you can type a website name and it will take you to that website. So that's what browser does. As the name says, it helps you to browse the internet. It helps you to go places over the internet. So if you are new to a city or if you are traveling, you probably will buy a magazine or a newspaper or a map and browse through it so that you will find places where you can visit or places you are looking for. In the same way, browser will help you to go places by giving in addresses. So if I have to open something like Facebook, I can type www.facebook or www.youtube. So you can see this browser is helping me go to that particular website. Okay, so that's what browser does. Again, now you can see I have opened YouTube in one and I've closed it. I am having a meeting here. I am having a Google slide here. So these are all called as tabs. Okay, in each tab you can open a web page or a website. So that's about tab. Now this whole collection of tabs, Google Slides, Meet and New Tab are all in one particular window. This window has 3 tabs open. Okay, if I want to open a new window, I can do so. I can just click on these more options, click on new window. This is a new window. It has no tabs open, just one blank tab open. So this is called as a window. Okay, that's the difference between tab and window. So each single page is a tab and this collection of tabs in one particular space, that's called as a window. This is basics about Google Chrome. Now let's see what are present in Google Chrome step by step. So basics of Google Chrome, is everybody clear? I will be asking questions, so please don't be bugged. This is just to understand that everybody is on the same page, so that nobody gets left out, and they shouldn't feel like, okay, I didn't understand this. How to go about the next steps? All right, great. So yes, the next thing is, once you know understand tab and window, now is to use this address bar. So this white space that you see is called as an address bar, but in Google Chrome it's not just an address bar, it's called as an omnibox. So if there are any language teachers here, does anybody know the meaning of omni? When we say omnipresent, omni. So does anybody know the meaning of omni? Everywhere, or it can do, yes, omnipresence is somebody who's present everywhere. So omnibox is actually a box that can do a lot of things, not just taking you to web pages or websites, but it can do a lot of things. Now when I say a lot of things, it works as a calculator, it works as translator, it works as dictionary, it works as currency converter, it works as weather forecaster. So this small white box that you see here, the sleek white box, it's inbuilt with lot of functions. So let me give you example. So let's say I have to do some calculation. 800, okay. Let me, yes. 895 into 56 something. This is a big calculation, right? If I've just typed in the question and I've already got the answer here, even if I press enter, it's automatically going to open the calculator. So if your laptop doesn't have a calculator, you don't have to worry. Google Chrome already has it. So that's one thing. Now, let's say I want to convert currency. So I'm in India and I'd like to convert my currency to dollars. So let's say 8954 rupees to dollars. So you can see automatically it has converted. So it is $120. Now it has opened a currency converter automatically. From here, I can change it any which way. So if I have 8,954 rupees, I can also see, yes, dirham. It is 441 dirham. Like that Sri Lankan rupee. So it's 24,000 rupees. So that's how you can use it as a currency converter as well. Now, another thing that you can do is use it as a dictionary. So, yes, I was just asking you what is the meaning of omnipresence, right? So, you could have easily just done this and the meaning automatically appears. That is, the dictionary automatically opens. So, you didn't have to go to www.cambridgedictionary.in or, Merriam-Webster dictionary. So, you don't have to do all those extra steps. You just have to type here. The next thing that I can do is weather forecasting. So temperature or let's say weather. Weather. So I just typed weather and it's already giving the weather of my place that I am uh, that I am right now. Okay. Now let's say I want to see Bangalore weather. So it is going to give me the forecast of the next days as well as it's going to give me exact precise details. So what is the temperature, precipitation, wind? So if you are planning to travel anywhere, it's you just have to open Google Chrome and just find the weather. So that's about it. And the next thing is translating. So let's say I want to say hello in Chinese. So you can see it automatically has translated it. Not just that, you can also hear the pronunciation. So you can hear it, you can copy it and paste it anywhere, let's say in Facebook, LinkedIn, web, WhatsApp, anywhere that you want to copy, you can copy it. In the same way, you can also check for other languages. If I want to see in Punjabi, so these are the things that can be done in Omnibox. Now, does everybody understand why this is called as Omnibox? Yes. So let's say if everybody is attentive. So what all can an Omnibox do? In Google Chrome, we call the address bar as Omnibox. And now I have explained that. Yes, you can do multitasking. You can do a lot of things with that, right? Instead of just typing the website or URL, along with that, you can do multiple things. Can anybody name a few things that I just showed? Let's see if you are attentive. Weather forecast, very good. Namrata ma'am, calculator, very good. Others? Shamim ma'am, dictionary, yes. Calculator, Talat ma'am, translator, Namrata ma'am, yes. Currency converter is one more thing. So yes, these are a few things. Currency converter, yes, great. And there are also another a few things like roll the dice, roll a dice. So what it does is it's automatically going to roll a dice. Even if you don't have a a physical dice, you can roll it. So a few things that can be done. Next thing is you can also start a timer. On the Omnibox, you have to just type timer. You will be able to set a timer. You have a stopwatch. So these are a few things that you can do with Omnibox. So that's why it's called an Omnibox. Now, the next thing that we have is, so we have seen this, isn't it the address bar? So what else? We've also seen what else the address bar can do. Now, I have a question. I hope everybody is able to see the screen. Just imagine you're sitting in a library to read some books. Okay, you have gone to a library. You want to read a few books. You picked up a book and you've read till some pages. If you want to come back next week, how are you going to remember where you left off? Okay, it might not be library. It can be your home as well. You have just picked out some to read and you read till some point and you have to read it the next day. So how will you remember where you left off? What do you do? So here's the question. I'll give probably 30 seconds and check the answers. A bookmark, great. So you use a bookmark. We all use bookmarks. It can be a thread, it can be a small, it could be a small card, or nowadays we have resin bookmarks, wooden bookmarks, whatnot. So many bookmarks are out there. So what to do in the same case? If you have been using laptop or Google Chrome to do some research or to go browse through a few materials, you've been using Google Chrome. Now you have to come back tomorrow or in the evening, and you have to start where you left off, or you want to go to that particular page only to continue what you were reading. So that's where bookmarks come into the context. So now the next thing that we're going to see is bookmarking a few things. So let's say I want to plan a math lesson. So I'll be opening Oxford homeschool site. So this is the regular site that I go, let's say, and I want to plan a few things in math. I'll click on maths. Now I'll choose some age group, let's say 8 to 9. And here I have multiple topics. So you can see I'm doing multiple actions. My aim was to create a math lesson plan or to get some reference about math lesson plans. So I've opened the Oxford homeschool. It could be any web page. Okay. I have opened Oxford Owl. Then I've chosen math, then I've chosen age group, and in this age group, I'm choosing geometry, more information and activity ideas for geometry. So you can see I've navigated through 5 or 6 places. Now, okay, this is fine, but I have a class to attend or I have some work to do. I will close it. Now, what happens is, yes, now I close it. What I do is, yes, you can use history to do it, right? You can use history. But what if if you have to find it in the evening, history is fine. Anyways, it'll be in the recent places. What if I have to come back next week and search for this page? History will already have so many more things that I have done. Finding this page which I have used last week would be very difficult. In that case, we have to use a bookmark. Bookmark is nothing but just like you put a bookmark in the page so that you can come back to that page. In the same way, bookmark is starring this particular web page and it will be saved here on this bookmark bar. If you can see Arabic class, GCT, training, marketing, critical. So these are all my bookmarks and I have many more stored here. So whenever I want to go to any of these websites, I don't have to go to a particular path. I don't have to go to their home page and search. Instead, I will just choose whichever one I want and I can open it. So now let's see how to bookmark the page that we recently closed. So I have recently closed it. So another tip I'm showing you, if you have closed any page recently, you can just click on this drop down on the top. Okay. I'm going to show tips and tricks and shortcuts throughout this workshop. So even if you don't remember anything, we'll have the recording in the WhatsApp group. You can go through it. So another tip, you can just click on this drop down, recently closed. So this was the page I recently closed. But this is fine if I'm just coming back within 1 hour. But what if I want to find the same page next week or next month? It'll be really difficult. I'll have to again go through the same thing, and I'm not sure if I'm going to come back to the same page or not, right? So, does it happen with you? Because I want to see if you can relate. Does it happen with you? You are planning for a lesson or you're creating some content and you do something, but next week or after 15 days, you want to go back to that same page which had wonderful resources or wonderful things there, but you're not able to find it. Does anybody face this? Okay, Namrata ma'am says yes. Vivek Singh sir says yes. I'm glad somebody can relate to me. Yes, Talat ma'am also says yes. So in this case, we bookmark it. All you have to do is click star here. Remember, if there's any important point in your textbook or in your study, you star mark it so that it's important. You know that it's important when you come back. So just click on the star, add bookmark. You can give a name. It will automatically take this web page's name, that is geometry shapes in year 4. But otherwise, if you want, you can change it. So let's say geo Oxford. You can also give a custom name. And here in folder, you can either choose a new folder or you can choose bookmark bar. Bookmark bar is nothing but the bar that it shows below. Okay, you can choose that, or you can click on choose another folder and create a folder. Okay, you can click on new folder, bookmarks, for lessons. Okay, and if you want, you can drag and drop it later. Okay, wherever you want, you can create a folder. If you don't want it under training, you can also create a folder here, new folder, LP, like lesson plans. Like this, you can create a folder and store it there. Wherever you want, you can store it. Click on save. So your bookmark is ready. You can just close it, and next week or next month or next year, whenever you want to open that, all you have to do is click on, if your bookmark bar is already filled with other bookmarks, it will be in this double arrows. You have to scroll down and you can see this LT or Geo Oxford. Yes, we chose the bookmark bar Geo Oxford. So when I clicked on that bookmark, the same page came up. I didn't have to navigate to home page, then to 8 to 9 age group, then maths, then geometry. I didn't have to do all of that. All whatever I wanted, it just came up. So that's how you create a bookmark. Is everybody clear with bookmark? That's how you bookmark your web pages. Okay, yes. Now, you must have created a lot of bookmarks. Now, like me, you have folders. Inside that, you have other folders or other bookmarks. So you can see in each bookmark, I have some, in each folder, I have some of the other bookmarks. Now, with so many bookmarks, I might be confused, or I might think that, okay, I might be overwhelmed, thinking that, okay, how am I going to find that bookmark that I wanted? So we have an option to manage the bookmarks. Okay, obviously, when you're creating multiple bookmarks, there might be outdated bookmarks. There might be bookmarks you want to delete or you want to rename. So let's see how to manage these bookmarks, right? So you will click on these more options. So whenever you have to do something, whenever you want to perform some action, you can check more options here. The three dots that you see, more options. Now bookmarks, you will be able to see bookmarks. Now you can see I have a big list of bookmarks here, which I might not be using or which I might be using, which I have to manage. So I'll click on bookmarks and I will open bookmark manager. So now what will happen is this bookmarks page will come up and each bookmark is here. Whichever bookmark I feel is outdated, I can delete it. So let's say edit videos and video settings or sort function. So let's say I want to remove this. I can delete it or I can copy the URL, I can open it. For each bookmark from Bookmark Manager, you can do all of this. I can edit it. That is, let's say I can change its name or change its URL. I have an option to delete it. I have an option to cut it. So I will cut it and paste it wherever I want. It's going to take me there. So sort function came up. Okay, so that's another thing that you can do is copy. So if you want to share your bookmark with a friend quickly, I can just click on copy and paste it wherever I want. Another thing is copy URL, copy anything. You can paste the one that I cut, you can paste it, or copy whichever you copied, you can paste it. You can open it in a new window or a new tab or an incognito window. These are the different things that you can do with a bookmark. So how do you manage your bookmarks? You just have to click on these three dots, bookmarks, bookmark manager. Another interesting thing here is input bookmarks and settings. Now let's say you are not a user of Google Chrome. You haven't been using Google Chrome. You were using Mozilla Firefox or Opera or Safari, and you have all your bookmarks there. Now what do? You can't copy and paste 100 bookmarks in Google Chrome, right? Instead, you can click on import. So if I was earlier using Microsoft Edge or Opera or whatever it is, Firefox, I can choose here and import my favorite bookmarks. So that is also possible. Even if you are a new user and you had been doing this bookmarks, you have been saving bookmarks in Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, you can import them. So you need not worry. Okay. Next thing is dragging and dropping. So you can actually order it. So now here you can see when I'm opening a new tab, this is the order. Now let's say I want this Oxford to come in the front. What I can do is I can go to bookmarks. I can just drag and drop it. You can see this is also possible. So it doesn't require much effort. You don't have to do a lot of things. You just drag and drop here. And automatically when you refresh it, you can see Oxford has come in the front now. Earlier it was here, now it has come in the front. So that's how you manage bookmarks. Is everyone clear with bookmarks? We can go to the next tip and trick. Anybody, any doubts with bookmarks? Now I'm showing you the basics. Once you start using the basics, you will explore more options. Okay. Now in bookmarks, it's not just these. You have other show bookmarks, show this, bookmark this tab. And in bookmark manager, you have other things that you can do, delete or do, sorting. All of these can be done. But once you know the basics, you can further explore. So yes, next. Okay. So we have seen how to create, manage, and delete bookmarks. Next tip and trick. I have another question for you. What do you do on App Store? Okay, we all have mobile phones. Does everyone have a mobile phone? I mean, smartphone. I'm sure we all must be having a smartphone, right? It could be Apple or it could be a normal Android phone. Yes, yes or no? Yes. So we all have App Store in it, right? Even in the minute you buy it, even though there are no apps in it, you have App Store, right? What do you do in your App Store? I'm again giving you 30 seconds. What do you do on App Store? We have Google App Store, we have iOS App Store. I'm not sure about the name, but yeah, we have iOS Store or something, App Store. So what do you do there? Ma'am, we use different apps, download useful apps. We download and use. We search and download. Great. Any other inputs? What do you do? Any other answers? Great. So yes, what we do is we get a basic, whenever we buy a new phone, we get the basic phone. It has photos, gallery, camera, and then it has basic app store, contacts, SMS, keypad, these things. Does it have extra apps in it? No, right? It is just a blank phone. And based upon the user who's using the phone, the apps might vary. Like my mom might have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I might have Google Classroom or Google Slides or Google Sheets. Some other person, maybe some software person, might have Slack and other things that are required for their purpose, or Google Chat, whatever they're using, they might have that. So based upon the user or based upon the requirement, we take apps. Does everyone understand this, or is everyone aware of this? Right? The same concept can be done on Google Chrome as well. When I'm saying Google Chrome, it's just blank here, right? You can either use the Omnibox or you will just go to some website and use the information that's there. Now, what if I want extra functionalities in my Google Chrome? So they have introduced something called as Google Chrome Web Store. Just like we have Android App Store where you install different apps and you do some video editing, you have some camera filters, some people have, different types of calculators, and we like teachers, we install apps like Google Classroom or Google Meet or Zoom or Skype. So we do all of these things, right? So in the same way, in Google Chrome also, we can add something called as extensions. Extensions is nothing but it will extend the functionality of Google Chrome. So let's check what is an extension. So yes. So in extensions, these are some steps that we follow. We go to Google Chrome Web Store. So just like we have App Store on our phones, on Google Chrome, we have Web Store because we are downloading it from web. We search for extensions just like we search for apps. If I want a camera editing app or a filter, not camera, what do I say? Picture editing app, I will search picture editing or editing app or camera filters and I'll get so many apps. Out of that, I will choose. Next is you click on install. In App Store, in the normal App Store on your phone, you click on install. Here, you just click on add to Chrome. Next is manage extensions. Now, if you want to find your apps on your phone, you go to the center page, right? There, all your apps are listed. Here, all your extensions are listed on top right corner. So, did everyone get to understand what is an extension? An idea? Are you able to relate apps and extensions? You can type yes or no in the chat box. If not, I will explain it again. Okay, somebody asked to repeat. Now, just like you have your apps in your mobile phone, you have different apps, right? Like Instagram, camera filters, LinkedIn. You might have different things, Facebook, Google Classroom, Zoom. These are all apps that you use in your phone. You install them from App Store so that you can add this functionality to your phone. In the same way, to add extra functionalities in basic Google Chrome, you have to install extensions. Okay, there it is called as apps, here it's called as extensions. Okay, so there you install it from App Store, here you install it from Web Store. And how do you install? You search for whatever extensions you're looking. You can just type in the keyword, you add it to your Chrome, and then start using it. So let's see how to do that. As I told you, you have to go to Chrome Web Store. You can just type Chrome Web Store. It's a pretty popular app. So the first link that you see, Chrome Web Store, you can just click on it. Okay, when you click on Chrome Web Store, it's going to load the home page. It might take 1 or 2 seconds, bear with it. So yes, you can see this is the Chrome Web Store. Like just like your App Store, it gives you some recommendations and it gives you extensions that are popular. All of these are there. Now, if I want to find for any extension, so let's say I want to find a screen recorder. I will just type screen recorder and I will get an app. Now, good thing about extension is it's not going to get installed on your system. It's going to be installed on your Google Chrome. So that's an additional functionality. Okay. So I've searched for I've searched for screen recorder. Here I got some search results. Nimbus, Screeny, and other things. These are themes. So in this extensions, I got 3 things here. Out of this, you can see the rating. Which one has the most number of ratings or the highest number of ratings? Can anybody look at it on the screen and type in the chat box? Let me show it. Usually, even on apps, what do we do? When we search for any app, we look at the recordings. Sorry, not recordings, the ratings. We look at the ratings. We see that, okay, so many people are using it. Maybe it's secure. Maybe it's really nice. Or maybe it's useful. And then we install it, right? Yes, Nimbus has more ratings. So, probably, according to human psychology, I'll just click on it. I can see that, okay, there are 2 million users more. And so again, if you want to know the if you want to know the extension before installing it, just like your apps also have overview. Your apps also have overview, your apps also have screenshots, right? To understand how the app works, you can watch the videos and screenshots. So this is the Nimbus capture, it records the screen. So it's giving me so many options. So let's say I like it. After going through all of this, after going through the overview, and I can also see the reviews, check the reviews by users. So these are some reviews. I can also sort them, recent reviews. So you can check the reviews and then decide. Some of them are saying nice, some of them are saying it worked great for them. So if you want to give it a try, you will just click on add to Chrome. So the next step, we have opened Google Chrome Web Store, searched for an extension, and the next step is add to Chrome. That's all. Add to Chrome. Just click on add extension and done. Here you will see that it's getting installed. You will find something here, and within 1 or 2 minutes it will get installed. Okay. And once it gets installed, your extensions will be on the top right corner. Can you all see here some colorful icons here? These are all my extensions. Even for you, whenever you install any extension, it will be here. So you can see Nimbus got, yes, yes, Nimbus got installed on my Chrome, and it's here. On the top right corner, I can just click on this jigsaw puzzle. I can click on this pin, and you can see N. This is the Nimbus screen recorder which just got installed. So that's how you install an extension. Okay. So I hope everybody has understood this. Don't worry if you think that there are so many buttons. Here, you just have to remember Chrome Web Store, search for extensions. Just like you use your App Store, you have to use the Web Store as well. And once you think that, okay, this the purpose of this is done, I have used it and I don't need it anymore. Again, all you have to do is on the top right corner, you will see this puzzle icon. Can you all see this puzzle icon? Please type yes or no in the chat box. Can you all see the puzzle icon here? Just click on this puzzle icon. You will see all the extensions that are there. Okay. Recently, I have added Nimbus. I will click on the three dots, remove from Chrome. Click on remove and it will get uninstalled. That's all. Okay, so that's how you use extensions. Now you might be thinking, okay, ma'am has shown some. Deepali ma'am, you said no. Any doubt?
Yeah,
Any
it didn't show. It didn't show on my bar, that symbol.
puzzle icon? Do you have extensions on your Chrome, ma'am?
I don't think so. I have. That's the reason it is not visible.
Yeah, if you once you install at least one extension, you will find this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Any others? Any doubt? You can unmute since this is a small group training. You can unmute and ask as well, or you can type it in the chat box. Because the next part would be showing you some useful extensions that I personally use and I find it really useful. Also, in this slide, we have a web page or a blog which a teacher has written, and she has listed 50 extensions that are useful for teachers. So when I share this material, you can click here and it will take you to a blog where 50 Chrome extensions are listed. You can try and use whichever one you would like. Okay. But I'm also going to share what I personally use, the ones that you can see here that are really useful. So before I go to that part, if anybody has any doubts, please type it in the chat box, or if you're okay with me going to the next section, you can raise your hand. Should I go to the next section? Okay. Vivek sir raised his hand. Deepali ma'am said yes. Others? Najiha ma'am, Aparna ma'am, Shameen ma'am. Okay, Talat ma'am says yes. Great. Let's move to the next section. That is my favorite extensions. One is Google Input Tools. Now, Google Input Tools is a very nice extension that is again given by Google, which will help you type in multiple languages, not just English. So, let's say you are a language teacher who's teaching Marathi, Arabic, or Kannada, or Hindi, Telugu. It could be anything. And if you want to type in that particular language, you don't have to install multiple keyboards. All you have to do is install Google Input Tools. So, you can see here the first tool that you can see, I've installed Telugu keyboard, Hindi. This is, I don't know. Marathi, Bangla. So I just added a few things here. So these are my keyboards that I have used. So whichever language I want to type, I can just choose that particular keyboard, and in here it will start typing in Hindi. Up. So up, ऐसे है. So you can see I have just typed it in English. It is translated it in Hindi, not translated, transliterated in Hindi, and it has started typing in Hindi. The same thing I can do in Telugu also. It is again a regional language in India. So you can see immediately the language has changed. So I didn't install extra keyboards. I didn't install extra, softwares. Pretty easy. So one is Google Input Tools. The next one is Screencastify. If you are a teacher who is recording lessons and sharing it as material with your students, Screencastify is amazing because the quality of video is good, and you can edit it easily, as well as you can share it easily. So Screencastify, not just browser, you can not just browser, you can record desktop, just yourself, that is your video you can record. And for free version it will give 5-minute video. If you really like it, you can upgrade it to uh, paid version as well, but otherwise you get free version. So that's Screencastify. Next is Bitmoji. Okay, if anybody has watched my video of Jamboard, you must have seen I've used Bitmoji. Bitmoji is basically something that helps you to create an avatar of yourself. And here I can drag and drop in my slides, in my docs, in my Jamboard, in my websites, wherever, whatever content I'm creating, I can use Bitmoji. So this is also an extension that you can find on Chrome Web Store. So let's say hello. I type hello. What it's going to do is it's going to create an avatar, or hey, and it's going to take a little bit of time because I'm using multiple apps here. It's taking some time, but otherwise you can see hello, hi. So it has created avatars, and I can choose any of this and paste it in my poster, in my presentations, in my documents, wherever I want. I can just use it. So this is Bitmoji. And next is equation. So I'm a math teacher. So I usually require equation, or equation bar, or equation box, or equations um, in my document or in my materials. So if I want a square plus b square, I can do this a square. I can just copy this and use it in my document. So this is one more extension that I use. And another thing is Google Keep. Whichever web page I'd like to, make notes of, I can just go to that particular web page, save to keep. What will happen is in Google Keep, this web page will be saved, and on that Google Keep, I can add notes. So if you're not new to Google Keep, you might not understand this. We might have a workshop on Google Keep, so don't worry about this. But these are a few extensions that I use. Now, some of you said that you have been using extensions. Can you type your extensions or your favorite extensions that you've been using? What are your favorite extensions, or what is that one extension that you always use if you are a user of extensions? Anybody? VPN, Google Meet attendance. Yes, that's a great extension. So it automatically records your Google Meet attendance in an Excel sheet. That is Google Sheet. Great. So yes, that's about a few extensions. The last segment or the last section of this workshop is settings. Now you've been using, let's say you've been using Google Chrome. Just like me, you really like Google Chrome, and that's your go-to browser. That is your default browser. Now you will have a lot of things to manage. Before that, let me turn it off because I want to type in English. So yes, this is my Google Chrome that I've been using for, let's say, 1 year or 2 years. Now, lot of history will be there. Lot of downloads I must have done. There might be passwords that I have saved. So how to go about that? Now let's check that. Okay. So is everybody clear with the last three sections? That is bookmarks, extensions, and what else? Omnibox. Is everyone clear with that? You can type yes or no in the chat box. Great, thank you. So next is settings. To open settings, again click on these three dots. These are the three magical dots, that is more options. Click on settings. Here in settings, you will find all your information that's managed with this Chrome. So you can go to autofill. You can see the passwords that are saved. Okay, so first thing in settings, you have which account it is using. Okay, which account you are using. So I'm using Reshma Teach and Reach with for this Google Chrome. Next, and these things, manage your Google account, customize your Chrome profile. So that's how I customize this colors. Next is autofill. Okay, passwords. Some websites save passwords, right? So you can see these are the websites that have my passwords saved. So whenever if I forget any of my passwords for any of these sites, I don't have to worry. I'll just go to settings, come to autofill, check if that particular password is here. So if I just click on this I button, it will show the password, which I'm not going to do now here because it's getting recorded and you're all watching this. Next is privacy and security. So it's always good once in a while you have to check if there are any data breaches, bad extensions, any virus threats. If there are any such things, you can just click on check now. What it's going to do is it's going to run a safety check and it will show you if there are any actions to be taken. Okay. If you want to clear your browsing history, you can do it from here or from history. Site settings, security, all of these things are managed here. Default browser. So your default browser is Google Chrome. Appearance. Okay. So you can see appearance. I have chosen Chrome colors. You can choose any other theme that you want. So when you click here, you'll get multiple themes. You can choose whichever theme you want and you can apply it. I've chosen those flowers, so that's why it got applied. So that's about settings. Next thing is history. So whatever you have browsed will get saved into something called as history. I think you all must be knowing this. You can click on history and it's going to show all the things that we have browsed. So today, these are the things that I browsed. Okay. And yesterday, like that, you can see all the browse items. You can keep going down, down, down. It's going to show the history. You can manage your history. You can manage your history from here. That is, you can click on clear browsing history and you will be able to manage all of these. Okay. So that's how you have basic and advanced. So whichever or however you want to delete it, you can do so. That's about history. The next thing is download. So how many of you, okay, this is again a question. How many of you download worksheets, pictures, PDFs, and then don't find them? You can type yes or no in the chat box. Like I am a teacher and let's say I'm preparing for a lesson. I'll go to multiple websites. I'll download all the free PDFs and free worksheets. Okay. I'll just click on download, download, download. And then I start finding them. I don't find it. Also, I don't remember the names because I'm just clicking on download. I don't remember the names. It's just the name that creator has given and I'm not able to find it. Yes, sometimes it happens. Yes. Okay. Vivek sir already knows. Happens with Talat ma'am also. So what you have to do is just three dots and downloads. Or you can, as sir said, you can also do Control J. That is, you can go to downloads and all your downloads will be here. You just have to click on show in folder. So certificate. Click on show in folder. It's going to show you where that particular folder is and you can access your download. Okay, let's say, okay, these are all zip files. Now let's say I want to find this recording. Okay, this was done October 28th. Almost 6 or 7 days are already over. And now I want to find this particular picture, or let's say this Jamboard demo picture. What I have to do is I'll just click on show in folder and it's already done. It has brought it for me. It has shown it for me. So that's how you find your missing downloads. So whatever you download from the internet, all you have to do is click on Control J or go to this three dots, downloads, and you'll find all the downloads you've been doing. And if you have deleted that download, it will show with a strike through. Okay, let's see if there's anything that I've deleted. I can just keep going down. And if I've deleted any downloads, it will show me with a strike. So probably I haven't deleted anything in the recent past. But yes, if anything is downloaded, deleted and downloaded, then you'll find a strike through. But otherwise, this is how you find all the downloads. So let's see. Okay. So this is a very old file. So when was this done? October 7th. So obviously I don't remember where it is stored. So I can just click on show in folder and it's going to show me where it is. Okay. That's how you find old downloads. So yes, that's pretty much about Google Chrome. So we've seen multiple shortcuts. So let's do a quick recap for those who have joined late. So we've seen Chrome basics. So what is Google Chrome? What's so special about it? And how is it different than other things? So we've seen about Omnibox. Can anybody unmute and tell me what is an Omnibox? Let's see. We can interact with each other because we're all teachers here. We can all help each other. So let's see. Anybody who wants to say what is an Omnibox, you can unmute. Or you can
Now,
also
it's a box, it's like a search box where you can search for anything without downloading it.
great without actually having to open a calculator or a translator or do these things. You can directly use the address bar. This thing, very good. Thank you, Talat ma'am. Yes. Next, bookmarks. Can anybody tell me how and what we did in bookmarks? Anybody would like to say or share a few points about Google Chrome bookmarks? Anybody? You can also type it in the chat box. What is a bookmark and how is it used? Okay. So we've seen how to create bookmarks, how to manage and how to delete bookmarks. So basically bookmarks will help you save a particular page. So let's say I want to save this as a bookmark. I just have to click on star, add a bookmark and done. So next time or next month or next year, if I have to search for this page, I don't have to search from Google. I'll just click on plus and I'll have my bookmark here. If I have a lot of bookmarks, I'll have to go here, but otherwise it will be here on the bookmarks bar. The next thing is extensions. So can anybody quick access saved pages? Thank you, Vivek sir. Perfect answer. So it is a quick access to the saved pages, bookmarks. Next one is extensions. Anybody who wants to say anything about extensions? What we have discussed about extensions? What have we discussed?
It's just like a Play Store app or any store where we can use the apps without downloading again. Uh, I
Yes.
just have a doubt in this, ma'am. Uh, if we are using different devices, will we be able to use these things, these extensions, in different devices?
Okay. Nice question. So yes, yes, we can. So you can see these extensions whenever we open Chrome Web Store. So here and I wanted to download something. Okay. Let's say I'll just click on this. You can see here Reshma at teachandreach.in. Okay, you just have to download, you just have to sign in with this particular ID in that particular device. So this is my laptop. If I want to use my brother's laptop, and I want to access all of these extensions, here you can see Chrome profile. I have to sign in with my personal ID on his laptop and I'll get the extensions. I hope I answered your question, ma'am. You have to log in with your ID on Chrome.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. And how do you do that? You have to just click here Chrome profile and the add or sign in. Okay. Here it says Reshma at teachandreach.in. So if it says your brother's or your husband's or anybody's name, you have to click on add, sign in with your email ID and you'll get your extension. Okay. So that's about extensions. Next, these are a few extensions that I showed. Settings. Okay. Anybody, any doubts in settings? Settings is something that you can explore. Also, you'll instantly find the answers on Google. So if you want to see how to find my downloads on Google Chrome, it will give you the answer. But if you know it, a lot of time will be saved. So that's pretty much about what we covered today. So I hope you liked today's workshop and you learned something new. So if you want to share any feedback, you can type it in the chat box. Also, if anybody is not on the WhatsApp group, what is the difference between Screencastify and Nimbus? They both serve the same purpose. Probably Nimbus has more options or more features. They're just two different products serving the same purpose. If anybody is not on WhatsApp group, you can let me know in the chat box. I will share the group link. So I'll also stop the recording. The session that's recorded